Stranger Hans here, back with another video, and today I'm checking out this one store that I've been a huge fan of ever since it came out. This is the Spirit Halloween 2023 Ideas game, created by the Spirit Hollows group on Roblox. So I'll make sure to leave a link to their game in the description if anybody wants to check it out. But yeah, this is a really cool game because I have some fond memories of visiting it back in 2023 when they first released it, and I have to say they have some really cool ideas in this game, so yeah. Let's check him out right now. Here we have a returning prop. This is the Sitting Scarecrow, which is being sold for $170. And over here we have the Crypt Keeper, which is being sold for $280. And what's cool about this prop is that this was designed way before we got the remake for the Crypt Keeper back in 2023. And this is a completely different version of what we got at Spirit. And if you see, I like this version a lot more than what we got. Don't get me wrong, what we got is still pretty cool and very faithful to the original, but I feel like it's kind of lacking, and for the price of $400, I think that's kind of unreasonable. Don't get me wrong, it looks very good, and it looks a lot like the character, but I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. It was kind of forgettable, which is surprising because you'd think that something like the Crypt Keeper would be much more memorable when it came out, but it really wasn't. It doesn't help that it was online only for a bit, and it was too expensive, it didn't really do much, and the voice actor wasn't even the original John Kassir from the Tales of the Crypt series, so yeah, I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. But over here we have the Crypt Keeper by the game devs, and all I can say is it already looks really cool. I like the fact that he's sitting in this chair, he has this book, and yeah, let's see what he does.
Greetings, creeps! It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper, and it's Halloween, boils and ghouls, my favorite horror day. I'm preparing a little holiday feast for Halloween, kiddies. There are some yummy recipes in my very own Crypt cookbook. I hope you like shish kebab. Bob is so delicious this time of year.
And yeah, that was the Crypt Keeper. Again, for $280, that's a good price, and I like what he does. I just like how much animation he has. I like the face. Well, it's pretty much a picture of the Crypt Keeper's face, but no, don't get me wrong, he looks really cool. And I love his animation though, like seriously, I like how he opens up the book, his head looks downwards, it kind of swivels side to side, it's so cool. Yeah, this is way better than what we got. I know that this would be kind of hard to pull off in real life for a cheap price, but wow, the fact we got that one Crypt Keeper for like $400, and then we're comparing that to this over here, which is $280, like, it's pretty much night and day. This is so much better. Okay, now, what else do we have here? Over here we have a remake of the Hay Bale Popper from 2016, which is being sold for $160, and this is a prop that I'm not the biggest fan of. I thought it was pretty cool at the time, but it's kind of bare bones. Don't get me wrong, though, it's a very good jump scare, but it wasn't the fastest pop-up either because I know it had some issues with the mech and the pumpkin being pretty heavy, but I like to see it over here in this game because it is pretty nostalgic to me now since, I mean, this prop is like, what, over 8 years old at this point, almost hitting 9 years old, like, it's insane. But yeah, let's see what he does. I'm not sure if this is a prop I'd like to see come back from that year. If anything, I'd like to see something like Howling Werewolf or even Morning Gory come back instead of him. But I still like this prop overall. It's very unique, and I just like the jump scare. I will say that I feel like Gordo's pretty much this prop, but a lot better. That might be a hot take, and I'm sorry if that upsets some of you, but I just prefer Gordo since, you know, he has a lot more personality. Over here we have another remake. This is the Cocoon Corpse, which is being sold for $150, and this prop was sold back in 2019. And yeah, not much to say here because it's Cocoon Corpse, so let's check it out. And now we're moving on to the main ISC over here. This is the Lawn Scares, which is really cool looking. I like how much detail's in it. It kind of reminds me of, like, old Spirit, you know? With these, cardboard trees that they used to have back in 2009, 2010, 2011, all those years. And I like the, just the overall build of it. It's very expansive. There's all these crates and everything. There's, like, fencing. It's so cool looking. It looks like an official theme that we could have gotten back then. But this is for the 2023 Ideas game, so I kind of like how it's almost a callback theme in a way, fitting for the 40th anniversary, since again, 2023 was the 40th anniversary for Spirit, so it makes sense why they would have something like this for that year. Now, let's start with the Trickster over here, which is being sold for $300, and he's this huge skeleton dude with a purple coat. He has a very cool looking swirly eye there, actually 2 swirly eyes, and a bag with some question marks on it. I'm wondering what that's all about, but let's see.
Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting any guests, but now that you're here, let's just say I have functions in sleep. Why don't you come a little bit closer so I can demonstrate? Oh, don't worry, it won't be painful.
And that was the Trickster. What I like about him is how he tips his hat up like that. That's such a cool animation. And everything else is pretty basic, but I don't mind that at all. I think he's a very effective prop. I love his presence. He's very big. And I just like his overall look. It's very unique. It really just screams classic Halloween to me. Over here we have the Shape, which is being sold for $230. And this is cool because this was made way before we got the Michael Myers back in 2024. And already I'm liking the look of this guy. One thing I wasn't the biggest fan of with Michael Myers from last year is that the face didn't look the best. It looked a little off. And I wasn't a fan of the music either because, you know, it wasn't the actual Halloween theme. I feel like, okay, if they couldn't get the rights to the original Halloween theme, the most they could have done is maybe add some, like, breathing sound effects, and that could be it. But no, they had to add some weird ringtone piano music, which didn't make a lot of sense, and sounded pretty bad. So I'm just not the biggest fan of the Michael Myers from last year. I mean, the animation's great, don't get me wrong, but everything else was kind of eh. But let's see what this guy does, and see if he's a lot better. And yeah, that was the Shape. I mean, for $230, that's a steal. I like all the animation he has, and it's cool because he has a servo head tilt, which we eventually got with, you know, the Michael Myers from last year, which I think is a really cool prediction that they made here. But it's also iconic to the character, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I like the animation a lot. The audio's perfect. Again, this is the audio I wish the Michael Myers from last year had. I like the way he thrusts his knife upwards like that, and how his body turns side to side. It's great. Like, the animation is very fitting for the character. So yeah, great licensed prop. Over here we have Mr. Missing, which is being sold for $200, and it looks like this dude is some sort of invisible man, which is really cool. And yeah, this is a very unique concept that we've never seen done before, and I'm really interested to see what he does. And that was Mr. Missing. A very unique prop, and already one of my favorites out of this entire lineup, which is crazy to say because I haven't seen really anything so far, but I just really like this dude, and the concept is so cool. I don't think they would do a prop like this since he's holding a gun, and I don't know how Spirit feels about giving their props guns, but it's such a cool idea, and I wish it's something that we could see, but I'm just not too sure. But again, this dude's amazing. I have no complaints at all. Like, this is a really cool prop. Over here we have Death, which is being sold for $300. And he appears to be some sort of huge Grim Reaper guy, kind of like the Collector from 2019, but he might have something different, so let's see what he does. That was Death, yeah. I mean, what can I say? This dude's really cool. I like his presence. He's very imposing, especially with his stature and everything in his stance, too. It looks like he has some sort of bag behind his back there, which is very similar to the Collector from 2019, but he seems to be a separate character. He isn't the most original thing ever, but I still like what they did here. I like the audio a lot. It's very fitting and pretty creepy as well. And I like his animation too with the head tilt and everything. Over here we have a remake. This is the Looming Straw Man, which is being sold for $250.
These parts is haunted. I don't scare you none. Thinking that somebody's gonna grab you. Lucky for you, I'm the only thing haunted around here. You best skedaddle.
This guy's really cool. I remember seeing him in stores back in 2018, which is the year that he was released, and I really wanted him at the time, but I also wanted to get the H2O Michael Myers, and I got neither in the end, unfortunately. But yeah, this dude was always really cool to me. I like his phrases, his look, and everything about him. He's a very awesome scarecrow, one of the best that Spirit ever sold. Over here we have a returning prop. This is Mr. Dark from 2021, and he's being sold for $280. And next over here we have Afterlife, which is a very cool prop, and it's being sold for $310. What I like about this dude is his appearance. Like, look at this. He has a very, very cool looking design here with the horns, this very demonic looking skull, and I like this pendant he has around his neck too. He kind of reminds me of something. I think it's the Horned King from this old Disney movie. I forgot the name of it, but it'll come back to me eventually. He looks a lot like that dude. He also kind of reminds me of the Lich from Adventure Time. So yeah, as you can tell, I love this character design already. It's so good. And I think $310 is a pretty cool price for him. I mean, I think it's fitting. I'm just not too sure what he does, but let's check him out.
You are not the first mortal I have brought here. This will be fine.
And that was Afterlife, and what can I say, this dude does not disappoint at all. Again, the animation's so cool. I like the way he spreads his arms out like that. What I like is that he'd just easily loom over all of your guests on Halloween night if you had him set up or something. This dude is really cool. The phrase is great as well. I like the voice filter they gave him. It's so cool and eerie, and yeah, it really fits the design too. I think this is a very solid prop. And one of my favorites. Over here we have Bone Collector, which is a remake of a 2010 prop, and one of my favorite props from 2010. And it looks like he's being sold for $280. I don't know what to expect here. He might be completely different from the original, but wow, this is one prop I would love to see come back eventually. I've always been a huge fan of him. I used to own him a while back too, but unfortunately, he broke like a few years after I bought him. But it's so nice to see him in this game, and to see him getting attention, because he's a very underrated prop and one of my favorites from the time. Now this right here is a remake done right. The original was very unique because, I mean, for Skeleton, he had a lot going on. I think the neck stretchy thing is so weird, yet so fitting and awesome. He was really unique, and he still is to this day. I mean, I don't know how they thought of that concept, but it worked so well, and I just really like this dude overall. And again, this remake does the character a lot of justice. I like the fact they gave him the side-to-side turning, the moving eyes, and that jump scare too. It's perfect. It's actually so good. And for $280, heck, I'd totally buy him. And now it's time we enter at our own risk. Now, what do we have over here? Whoa! Over here we have a remake of an old prop from 2013. This is Pumpkin Esther, which is being sold for $250. And yeah, it's cool to see him in this game as well. I know I mentioned him in the Hayden's Bros games that we covered earlier, because they also made their own remake of him. And it's so cool to see him getting more recognition in this game as well, since he is a highly requested prop that a lot of people want to see come back, including me. Will he come back? I'm really not too sure again, kind of like I said in that other video, but I mean, it would be so cool to see him come back eventually, because he's such a classic old spirit item.
Come in! Are you looking for Peter Pumpkin Eater? Turns out he had that whole thing backwards, and he was crunchy too!
Over here we have the Mangled Farmer, which is being sold for $210, and this seems to be a constant motion prop, which is awesome. I like the look of this dude. It's very disturbing, especially with that mangled, well, as the name suggests, this very mangled looking face is awesome, very gnarly. I like this very creepy, lantern arm animation thing that he's doing, kind of like the Gatekeeper from 2011 and its remake from 2020. Very nice addition. There's not much to say about him since he's just, a zombie farmer dude, but yeah, he's really cool. And now, we move on to Knifer the Pumpkin, which is being sold for $230, and he's this really cool pumpkin jack-o'-lantern dude. He kind of looks like a scarecrow almost, but I like the look of him, especially that carved out face that he has going on there, very sinister. Yeah, let's see what he does.
We have for some tricks or some
Trees.
And that was Knifer the Pumpkin. Not much to say about him, but yeah, I think he's really cool. I like his animation. That jump scare is pretty startling, but I like the fact that his face glows once he jumps out at you. Like that. That's so cool. That's such an awesome addition to him. And I like the phrase as well. I mean, it's perfect for a pumpkin character like him since, pumpkins are associated with classic Halloween, so it works very well. And I like how he's like the serial killer pumpkin. It's so cool. Over here we have Trick or Fright, which is being sold for $230. And I don't know what he does, but he looks like a very cool skeleton dude on a swing with some candy and a bag over here. And yeah, let's check him out.
Hello there. I see you have some candy. I have a
And that was Trick or Fright, another very cool animatronic. I like his look, especially with the candy on there. I think that's a neat touch and really adds a lot to him, because I feel like without that, he'd just be kind of like a skeleton on a swing without much else. But I like how they added this as well. But I like his animation too, the way he lunges out at you. I don't know how they'd implement that since, he's a skeleton. It'd be kind of hard to cover up that mech, but they could find a way, I bet. But yeah, I really like this dude. He harkens back to classic Halloween to me. And the design is kind of similar to Grimm in a way, which I think is neat, and I like him a lot. Over here we have the Eye of Judgment, which is being sold for $300, and wow, what a great prop idea. I like the look of this thing. I love how big it is. I can't even imagine how big its box would be, but dang, what a cool, creepy looking prop. It's very Lovecraftian almost. Yeah, I don't know who came up with this idea, but it's wonderful. Wow, this thing is so awesome. I'm guessing its hands are servo-controlled or something, but I like how fluid the movement is. And I like the fact it's suspended from the ceiling too, so it seems to be a hanging prop. I don't know how heavy it would be in person, but wow, this would be an awesome prop to have. I mean, I like the look of it. I just like everything about it, honestly. It's so good. Over here we have a roaming prop. This is the roaming scarecrow and tractor, which is being sold for $160. And yeah, he's just a scarecrow on a tractor. I mean, pretty self-explanatory here, but I like him. I like him a lot. I think he would be worth the price because, I mean, he has a lot going on here. He has the tractor, he got the scarecrow with the really cool LCD blinking eyes, kind of like those Pose and Stay LCD skeletons that Spirit used to sell, especially back in 2021. That's when they were, like, really popular. My store had trouble getting them in stock, but yeah, I really like this dude. Over here we have the Pumpkin King, which is based off of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and he is $380, which is pretty pricey, but he is massive. And yeah, let's see what he does. That was the Pumpkin King. Yeah, this dude is really awesome. I'm a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so this is right up my alley. I just really like this dude, and I love his presence. Again, he is so big, so I can see why he's $380. This is easily like giant death ray sized. Yeah, what a cool prop. What a great prop. And I like how much detail they added to him, too. I feel like this would be a really good seller if Spirit actually sold it. I would honestly have it in my front yard for Halloween. I'm not even joking. This is so cool. And now we move on to the Swamp Tours theme. It's almost like a callback to the Swamp Tours from 2015, and I think that's so neat. It's, yeah, like in a completely different setting, because the original Swamp Tours from that year was in a witch's hut, pretty much, with some surrounding, like, lakes and water and stuff, but this is cool because it's like a bridge, kind of like the one from 2017, Spirit Hollows Bridge. And I love the lighting too, with all the greens and everything else. It's so cool. So let's start off with the Creepy Rising Doll, which is being sold for $250. And what's cool about this is that they predicted who was coming back that year, which, lo and behold, was Creepy Rising Doll, since she was remade back in 2023. So this is really cool to see in here. And it's funny because her remake is actually cheaper than this price over here.
Hello. Do you want to play with me? Let's play a game. The rules are very simple. Come over here and I'll show you. Don't be afraid. Come a little closer. That's right. Here, let me stand up so I can see you better.
Ah, yes. Now I can see you. You look good enough to eat. We can play hide and seek if you want to. You run, and I'll come find you. I love a good chase.
Here we have Hanging Dale, which has been sold for $150. And it's kind of hard to see him from here, but he's this cool hanging zombie dude. He really harkens back to Spirit Halloween back in 2015, 2014, all those older years. He just has such a classic look to him. And I like how he's hanging up from that rope there. He's pretty much like Spike from 2022, except a lot better in my opinion. They gave him like guts that are kind of hanging from there, which I think is a very good touch and something that Spike was lacking. But yeah, let's see what he does. And that was Hanging Dale. Yeah, he's a pretty simple prop, but he does the job very well. Again, I like the look of him. I love that face they gave him and just how dirty he looks. He's a really, really cool zombie, and I hope we get more zombies like this for years to come, especially this year with the theme that we're getting at Spirit, which I think would be a perfect opportunity to get more zombies, kind of like back in 2015 how we got stuff like Hung Up Zombie that year. Over here we have the Mutant Spider, which is being sold for $180, and it's this cool green radioactive spider inside of a hazmat canister thingy. That was the Mutant Spider, which is a really cool prop. It's kind of similar to the raccoon trash can that we got at Party City back in 2022, except, you know, a radioactive spider. And I like it a lot. It's so cool. And I feel like this would sell really well too, because, I mean, as it is, the jumping spider was a good seller. So I bet this would sell too. I mean, seriously, it's so cool. I like it a lot. And that jump scare is very startling as well. Over here we have the puking toxic waste zombie, which is being sold for $200. And it's like this zombie dude behind a barrel. And that was the puking toxic waste zombie. And yeah, this dude's awesome. I like his animation and the fact he actually spits inside of there, well, pukes, but yeah, what a cool looking zombie prop, a very unique one too, and it would be cool to see how they could pull this off in Spirit. I doubt they would have them on display because they're always not the biggest fan with fog and having water in their themes nowadays, which is unfortunate, but oh well, what can you do? And we saved the best for last at this theme. This is the Springtrap Animatronic, which is being sold for $280, and this dude's awesome because, well, he's based off of Springtrap from the Five Nights at Freddy's series. And what a great prop. I remember when I first played this game, I was like, wow, this needs to happen. I really wanted this dude to be a prop back in 2023, and unfortunately we didn't get him as a prop that year, but it would be cool to see him eventually get a prop somewhere, because, wow, he's such an iconic character to me, and I feel like a lot of people would buy him. And yeah, that was Springtrap. What a cool prop. This is probably my favorite from this entire game. I mean, I'm a huge FNAF fan, so I would totally buy him within an instant. I feel like he'd be a really good seller too, since, you know, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's a huge market for Spirit to tap into. And speaking of which, I know I said this in one of my videos, but I would love to see Spirit tackle Five Nights at Freddy's prop eventually. A lot of people have been requesting it, and I think it would just be a hit seller pretty much. And now we have entered the back theme. This is a really cool looking place. I don't know what it's called, but dang, it's really awesome. It seems to be some sort of cabin theme. It's very similar to the cabin that we got back in 2009, except way more expansive, with more modern building techniques, such as this really cool looking facade, the roofs and everything. We've got this cool backdrop here too, and even a walkthrough. It's so cool. I love this theme a lot. There's so much going on here, and I would love for Spirit to make something with the same exact layout. Like, that would be sick. But yeah, I digress. Let's start with Force Demon, which is a prop from 2017, and a very cool prop in my opinion, one of my favorites from that year. He's being sold for $280.
The souls of the innocent are hard to come by, but the souls of the broken, like you, are everywhere.
Yeah, I really like this dude, and I hope he can come back eventually. Him and Hanging Hellfiend, honestly. Both are some of my top favorites from that year. I've always just liked them a lot because of how unique they were. And this dude is no exception. Here we have Guardian of the Forest, which is being sold for $300, and he is this huge deer Wendigo dude, which is so cool looking. And I like how he has like this tree bark looking body, this staff, and this skull head with a missing eye. What a great design. And that was Guardian of the Forest. Yeah, this is also one of my top favorites from this game. I just like his animation a lot, his looks and everything. He's so cool looking, and I like that lunge he does too. That's so unexpected. But the side-to-side turning is also very sinister. And yeah, what a great prop. We need to get more props like this. I just love the concept a lot. It's so cool, so different. And now we start with Torment, which is being sold for $210. And yeah, this is a very creepy looking woman prop that seems to be possessed, and I don't know what she's gonna do, but let's see. And that was Torment. What a very unnerving prop. The animation is so creepy, especially with the way she thrashes. It's kind of similar to Boogeyman and Spirit Soul back in 2016. Again, what a sinister, creepy prop. I like how she's wearing that face mask. I don't know what it's called exactly, but it's one of those asylum masks, and I think that adds so much to the character. And I like how she's kind of levitating there too. It's such a cool prop idea. Here we have Swinging Scarecrow, which is a remake of a 2016 prop, and he's being sold for $150. He is definitely one of my favorites. I just love his phrases. I like his look so much. It's so creepy looking. And yeah, just such an iconic piece of Spirit's history. Yeah, this dude is so cool. I feel like he has a high chance of coming back sometime, but who knows when. Again, he's definitely one of my top favorite swingers because of just his personality and everything about him. He's so creepy, and he works so well in so many different themes, and he'd be an awesome flashback to have eventually. Here we have Arrowhead, which is being sold for $180, and it appears to be some sort of zombie dude with, well, an arrow through his face, and yeah. Yeah, this is a very gnarly prop, and he's still going off right now, but yeah, this dude is so awesome. I like his face sculpt and everything, and just how the eyes hanging down there. I just like his animation, the way he twitches around like that. Kind of similar to Twitching Banshee and the Twitching Clown in Spirit Soul back then. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites here. I just like his animation a lot, and his look overall, it's very cool. Now we have Bombi the Clown, which is being sold for $200. It appears to be some sort of clown stuck in a TNT box, so let's set him free. was Bombi the Clown, another solid prop from this lineup, and he's still going off, but yeah, this dude is really awesome. I like the look of him, especially with that flashing eye there, the dynamite sticks going through him and everything. It's such a nice touch that they added there. They really didn't have to add, but it adds so much to the character and his overall look, and he's just a really cool, creepy prop, and I like him a lot. Here we have another awesome remake. This is the Lurching Vampire, which is being sold for $240. And yeah, this prop is really nostalgic to me since I saw him in stores back in 2010 and 2011. So yeah, this prop is a major part of my childhood, and it's so cool to see him here as well. Yeah, and that was the Lurching Vampire. What's cool is that they eventually brought him back at, I think it was Haunted Hill Farm, for much cheaper than this. One thing that I find kind of strange is how they changed the audio, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but yeah, what a cool remake. Here we have Sinister Act, which is being sold for $200, and he has this clown dude with a lollipop in his hand, a very huge lollipop, with a very cool design here.
Want to see my act? You'll holler and scream when you see this one.
That was Sinister Act, another awesome clown prop. I love his animation, just with the way he springs up like that and snaps that lollipop in half. I think that's such a cool idea. And I like how he also has these pumpkin buttons on him. He looks very Halloweenish. He's definitely one of my favorites from this lineup. He's just so awesome and so different from most clown props. Here we have Mr. Icy, which is being sold for $230. And he's an ice cream clown, it seems, which is awesome because he's kind of similar to the ice cream clown that we're getting at Haunted Hill Farm this year. Except he looks a lot different, but pretty much the same idea in general. But yeah, let's see what he does.
Girls, want some ice cream? The only thing you're getting is Jack.
And that was Mr. Icy, another very unique clown prop. I just like his animation a lot, and how unexpected that face shift is, like that. Like, it's such a good jump scare, and I feel like that would catch a lot of people off guard. And I like the face they made here too, especially with the icicles dripping down from his nose. That's so fitting, especially for the Mr. Icy name he has. Like, it's so good. Yeah, this is definitely another huge favorite of mine from this lineup. Here we have a little Skelly Bones, which is being sold for $180, and this is a returning prop for 2022. Here we have Dr. Gear, which is being sold for $280, and he's awesome looking steampunk zombie dude. I don't know what to call him exactly, but wow, he's awesome, especially with that flashing heart in his chest. I'm not sure what he does, but he looks awesome, and definitely a huge standout from this entire lineup. Like, wow, this is a really cool prop design. Yeah, this dude is really cool. I like his lunging animation a lot, just how he kind of like lurches towards you with his arms moving up and down. Again, that flashing heart is such a cool addition to this prop, and I like how he has all these gears sticking out of him. He's such a weird prop, but in a good way. I like steampunk stuff as it is, so something like this is just perfect for me. Again, what an awesome animatronic idea. Over here we have Megan, which is being sold for $230, and this prop is based off Megan from the Megan movies.
Don't worry, Katie. I won't let anything harm you. Ever again.
I like her animation a lot, especially with how she lunges out at you like that with the machete. Yeah, this is a really cool take on Megan. I think it'd be cool to get a prop for her that does this. This base is pretty big for her though, I have to say, but that's a nitpick. I just like the animation a lot. The audio is very fitting too, and yeah, here we have Ghostface, which is being sold for $240, and this is cool because this came out way before the Ghostface that we got back in 2024. But I like this take, how it has the tape recorder, and of course the knife over here because you can't forget that. So yeah, let's see what this ghost face does.
Hello, Sydney. What's your favorite scary movie? I'm afraid that was a wrong answer.
Now this is really cool. I like how this ghost face kind of leans downwards to speak into the voice changer, and has this awesome striking animation where the arm flips upwards. That's so cool and different, and I just like it a lot. The ghost face we got last year is kind of similar when it comes to the stabbing motion, but it's not as controlled as this. I like this a lot more, honestly. It's so cool. And don't get me wrong, the ghost face from last year was pretty good as well, but wow, I just like their take on ghost face a lot more here. Here we have Coraline and the cat, which speaks for $250.
Baby's got a cat like yours. You must be the other cat.
No, I'm not the other anything. I'm neither.
I can see you don't have button eyes, but if you're the same cat, how can you talk?
I just
How'd you get here?
I've been coming here every day. It's a game. She hates cats and tries to keep me, but she can't, of course. I come and go as I please.
Your mother hates cats.
Not like any mother either.
What do you mean? She's amazing.
You probably think this was a dream come true, but you're wrong.
Baby's got a cat like yours. You must be the other cat.
I'm not the other anything. I'm me.
I can see you don't have button eyes, but if you're the same cat, how can you talk?
I just
How'd you get here?
It's a game. She hates cats and tries to keep me, but she can't, of course. I come and go as I please.
Your mother hates cats.
Not like any mother either.
What do you mean? She's amazing.
You probably think this was a dream come true, but you're wrong.
This is a really cool prop to me since I feel like it is possible nowadays, especially knowing that Spirit Halloween has the licensing to Coraline, and I feel like a lot of people would love this, and it would be a great seller as well. If we were to get a Coraline prop, I would like it if it was the other mother instead, but this is still awesome. And yeah, that was Coraline and the cat. Yeah, what an awesome prop. I love the fact that they gave these two servo animation because I think that would be perfect, especially since we got Emily and Victor last year, which were pretty similar characters. Well, obviously not made by the same people who made Coraline, but it would be awesome to get more licensed props with servo movement, and I think that these pulled this off super well. And I think they really just add to the characters' personalities and just really capture them perfectly. And yeah, that was the Spirit Halloween 2023 Ideas game by the Spirit Hollows group on Roblox. And it's so nice to be able to revisit this game again. I've always been a huge fan of this game from the beginning. And yeah, this lineup still holds up very well. There's so many great props here, and I just love the ICs that they came up with here too. They're very, very creative. And I like how some of them are also like new twists on older themes. Again, like the swamp tours, this cabin over here, and the lawn scares. They all have some sort of callback to Spirit's older years, which I think is so cool. And again, very relevant to when this came out. It was the 40th anniversaries for Spirit, so what better than to have all these callbacks, you know? Especially to get some remakes of old props like Bone Collector, you know, Forest Demon, Creepy Rising Doll, all those. It's so nice to be able to revisit this game again, and again, if you want to check it out, then the link's in the description, but yeah, just make sure to check this out. I mean, I think it's worth a visit, and you will not be disappointed at all. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all later.